I've gone through a lot, you know, a huge emotional and spiritual battle.
What's really going on with Lauryn Hill? Why has she been so quiet in recent years? Is there more behind her famous music career than we know? Has she faced struggles that kept her away from the spotlight?
To the incarceration of Lauryn Hill. The 8-time Grammy winner was sentenced to 3 months in prison after pleading guilty to failing to file tax returns between 2005 and 2007.
Fans have been wondering why she's not making new music or performing like before. What's happening with Lauryn Hill now? Let's explore the truth behind her silence and what's next for her.
I grew up around a lot of music. I mean, like Spanish guitarists who some people, you know, wouldn't even know. People like Gilberto and Jose Feliciano.
Lauryn Hill was born on May 26, 1975, in South Orange, New Jersey. Growing up, she faced challenges, but nothing could stop her. At the age of 13, Lauryn performed on Showtime at the Apollo. Sadly, the audience booed her while she sang Smokey Robinson's song, Who's Loving You? Most kids would have quit, but Lauryn didn't give up. She kept pushing forward, determined to make her dreams come true.
Environment.
Lauryn met Pras Michél, a member of the hip-hop group The Fugees, when she was in high school. Pras said they first met when Lauryn was about 12 or 13. He asked her to join his music group, and she agreed. Pras, who was a Haitian-American musician, promised Lauryn's mother that he would take care of her. Soon, Lauryn, Pras, and a girl named Marcy Harrell formed a trio called Time.
I started the Fugees. It was myself, this girl named Marcy, and then she introduced me to Lauryn Hill. So it was actually me and two girls, so me, Marcy, and Lauryn.
The group was given a chance to record in a studio owned by a member of the band Kool and the Gang. They created a song with a reggae vibe, but it needed something extra. Pras knew just the person to complete the track, Wyclef Jean.
He was just very dramatic, and you know, we made good music.
Wyclef later shared in his memoir that when he walked into the studio and saw Lauryn, he was amazed by her talent. Although she was much younger than him, Wyclef respected Pras' wish to keep things professional with Lauryn. Wyclef started working with the group, and he quickly began developing a bond with Lauryn. Around this time, Wyclef was also getting to know a woman named Marie-Claude Annette, who was a few years older than him. She was a model and gospel singer, and she helped Wyclef when he was struggling financially. She let him stay in her family's basement and even supported him with money when he was low on cash. She believed in his music and was a big part of his early career. By 1993, Lauryn had a role in the film Sister Act 2, and the Fugees had signed a record deal with Rough House Records. Their debut album, Blunted on Reality, was released in 1994, but it didn't do well at first, selling only 12 copies. However, the group became famous in underground music circles and soon started traveling and performing all over the world. This was when Lauryn and Wyclef's relationship began to grow deeper, though Wyclef was still married to Marie-Claude Annette.
So he was talking about, I guess, was Wyclef married at the time?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he's still married.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't know, when he got married. So at the time that the score came out, he was married.
Wyclef later admitted in his memoir that Lauryn was his muse and that their second album, The Score, was the soundtrack of their romantic relationship. Things became complicated when Marie-Claude Annette started to feel suspicious about Wyclef's feelings for Lauryn. Eventually, Wyclef confessed that he was in love with Lauryn because of the amazing music they were creating together. But he reassured Marie that he loved her in a different way. In 1994, Wyclef married Marie, and Lauryn attended the wedding. Wyclef mentioned in his memoir that Lauryn was respectful that day because he had spoken to her beforehand and made it clear that he had chosen his path. In 1996, the Fugees released their second album, The Score. The album was a huge success, going 6 times platinum and winning 2 Grammy Awards.
I think I chose to become a rapper because, you know, I had a lot of things that I wanted to say. And at that point, you know, R&B music wasn't really being used to make any statements. It was hip-hop.
Songs like Fuji La, Killing Me Softly, and Ready or Not became hits, and the Fugees were at the peak of their fame. Lauryn Hill had made it, and her journey was just beginning.
Okay, some news just breaking to us in the last couple of minutes. A former member of the Fugees has been convicted of 10 finance-related federal charges, including money laundering and campaign finance violations.
Sometimes friendships can take a wrong turn, especially when money and misunderstandings get in the way. Well, this is what happened between Pras, Michél, and Lauryn. In October 2024, Pras Michél decided to sue Lauryn. He claimed she had broken a contract and committed fraud related to the management of a canceled Fugees tour. Things had already been tense between them when Pras released a diss track called Bar Mitzvah, where he criticized Lauryn after the tour fell apart. Lauryn didn't stay silent. She went on Instagram, called his claims false, and reminded people how she had helped him financially in the past. Well, that wasn't the only controversy she faced. Let's rewind back to 2012, when Lauryn found herself in serious legal trouble. She was charged with not paying taxes on money she earned between 2005 and 2007. The total amount she didn't pay was $1.8 million. This was not about tax evasion, but rather failing to file or pay taxes on time, which is a crime under U.S. tax law.
To the incarceration of Lauryn Hill. The 8-time Grammy winner was sentenced to 3 months in prison after pleading guilty to failing to file tax returns between 2005 and 2007.
During those years, she was very busy. She was touring as a musical artist, earning money from her records and acting in films. On top of that, she owned and managed several businesses. But in a long post on her Tumblr, Lauryn explained why she didn't pay her taxes. She said that she had pulled away from public life because of what she called a hostile world. She said she was fed up with false entitlement, manipulation, racial prejudice, sexism, and ageism. She claimed that when she was working and not facing these issues, she paid her taxes. It was only when she stepped back from society to protect herself and her family that she stopped filing and paying. In June 2012, Lauryn appeared in court in New Jersey. She pleaded guilty to the tax charges. Her lawyer said she would pay back the money she owed. But by April 2013, she had only managed to pay back $50,000 of the $554,000 she owed at that time. This angered the judge, Madeline Cox Arleo. The judge said Lauryn wasn't poor, and she needed to do more to pay her taxes. Lauryn was also in danger of being kicked out of her rented home in South Orange, New Jersey. She faced a lawsuit from the town because she had been running a business out of her home without the right permission.
That people need to know. Some people might have bought tickets. I hope you didn't. But I told y'all. When it was first announced, I told y'all this tour was not happening and it was gonna get canceled. And Lauryn Hill is blaming the media for sensationalizing
her last canceled tours.
Canceled tours and missing shows and
In May 2013, Lauryn was sentenced to 3 months in prison for not paying her taxes. Along with her prison time, Lauryn also had to serve 3 months of house arrest and 1 year of supervised probation. Her sentence could have been much longer, up to 36 months, but the judge considered her clean record and her 6 children. She had already paid back almost $1 million to cover the taxes she owed, along with extra penalties for not paying earlier. During her time in court, she spoke about how she had lived modestly, even though she had made a lot of money working in the music industry. She also shared that she was from a family that faced hardships and had to deal with a system that wasn't always fair to them. After her sentencing, she reported to a low-security prison in Danbury, Connecticut on July 8, 2013. Lauryn was released early from prison on October 4, 2013, for good behavior. She then started serving her house arrest and probation. While she was in prison, she still managed to work on music. She released a song called Consumerism, which she had worked on through emails and phone calls while she was incarcerated. She also received permission from the judge to perform a limited tour in 2013 under strict conditions. In 2014, she took on a new role as the narrator for a documentary called Concerning Violence. The film was about the African liberation struggles in the 1960s and 1970s. She also faced some public challenges during this time. At the Voodoo Music Festival in November 2014, Lauryn arrived late to her performances twice on the same day, which caused frustration among her fans.
End of the day, she has a reputation of people being disappointed by her being late, different things like that.
Canceling.
Or canceling the show. That's not something the media made up. That's something that actually happens.
In May 2015, she faced more controversy when she canceled a concert in Israel. She had been scheduled to perform outside Tel Aviv. but a group of activists pushed for her to cancel the show as part of a larger movement called Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions, BDS. She wanted to make sure that her performance wouldn't upset either her Israeli or Palestinian fans, and she said logistical problems prevented her from performing in both places. In the same year, she also contributed to the soundtrack for the documentary What Happened, Miss Simone? The movie was about Nina Simone, a legendary singer and civil rights activist. Hill ended up recording 6 songs for the soundtrack, much more than the 2 she had planned. Lauryn felt a deep connection to Simone's music and legacy, and her work on the soundtrack was praised by critics. She faced more challenges when she hosted the Diaspora Calling festival in Brooklyn, New York, where she showcased music and art from around the African diaspora. The event highlighted various artists and musicians, including a Haitian Rara band. However, she also faced backlash again in May 2016, when she was over 2 hours late for a concert in Atlanta. Her fans were upset, and Hill later explained that she needed to align her energy with the time and that her driver had gotten lost. Even with these ups and downs, Lauryn continued to create music. Lauryn tried to focus on her solo career, but things didn't always go smoothly. She started performing on her own, but many fans were disappointed. She often arrived hours late to her concerts, changed her songs in ways fans didn't like, and had a strange new look. Some fans even booed her and left her shows early. Despite the challenges, Lauryn released a new song called Lose Myself in 2007 for the movie Surf's Up. People were still hoping for a full new album, but it never came. In 2008, Lauryn had her 5th child with Rohan. Even though they weren't living together, they still shared a deep connection. Lauryn moved back to her hometown of South Orange, New Jersey, to live with her mom and kids. During this time, people said she might be taking a break from music, but Rohan insisted that Lauryn was always writing songs, even in the most unexpected places. Lauryn tried to perform again in 2009, planning a 10-day European tour. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. She passed out on stage during one of her shows and canceled the rest of the tour, leaving many fans upset because they didn't get refunds. Amidst all this, Lauryn still released new music. On May 4th, 2013, she dropped her first official single in over 10 years, called Neurotic Society Compulsory Mix.
So passively, desperados and casualties, corporations want batteries, explanations and strategies, domination and mastery.
She later explained on her Tumblr that the release was rushed because of the legal deadline. The song got some criticism, especially for its lyrics, which seemed to link problems in society to certain LGBT movements. Lauryn defended herself, saying the song wasn't aimed at any specific group. Instead, she said it was about people hiding behind neurotic behavior. In 2019, she recorded a song called Guarding the Gates for the movie Queen and Slim, which was featured on the movie's soundtrack. In January 2010, Lauryn made a big return to the stage after a long break. She started performing again, this time in New Zealand and Australia, as part of the Ragamuffin Music Festival. It was exciting for her fans because Hill had not been seen on stage for a while. During these performances, she sang many of the songs she had recorded over the past 6 years. In April 2010, an unofficial album called Kulami Phase was released. It featured some of these songs as well as tracks from her previous work, like the Ms. Hill compilation. Later in 2010, Lauryn also performed at the Harmony Festival in Santa Rosa, California. This was her first performance in the US in several years. It was a huge deal for her fans, who had been waiting for her return. In July 2010, an unreleased song called Repercussions was leaked online. It was a hit, reaching #1, 94 on Billboard's Hot R&B Hip-Hop Songs chart, and even peaked at number 83 the next week. This marked Hill's first time on the Billboard charts as a lead artist since 1999.
I was born into this world.
In August 2010, Hill joined the Rock the Bells hip-hop festival tour across the U.S. One of the highlights of this tour was when Hill performed The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, her iconic album, in full for the first time. She changed up the tempo of the songs, making them feel faster and more urgent. However, sometimes she had trouble connecting with her band during the shows. Despite this, she continued to perform and entertain crowds, including a set at the 6th Annual Jazz in the Gardens in Miami Gardens, Florida, in December. The year 2011 was another busy one for Hill. She performed at some big festivals, including the Coachella Valley Music Festival and the New Orleans Jazz Fest. She also had a show at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. In July of that year, she had her 6th child, Michél. This was a special moment for her, as Michél was her first child with a man other than Rohan Marley. The identity of Miché's father was never revealed.
I've gone through a lot, a huge emotional and spiritual battle.
In February 2012, Hill surprised her fans by performing a new song called Fearless Vampire Killer at a sold-out show at the Warner Theater in Washington, D.C. Later that year, she went on tour with rapper Nas. The tour was called Black Rage, named after a powerful song Hill wrote. She explained that the song was about the effects of racial inequality and abuse. Hill said the song was a reminder that real peace and happiness can only come when these issues are faced and resolved. Now let's talk about her personal life. When you think of famous families in music, the Marley Hill family stands out. Lauryn and Rohan Marley, the son of reggae icon Bob Marley, have passed down a rich musical legacy to their children. Their son, YG Marley, is now carrying the family torch and making waves in the music industry. YG Marley, born Joshua Marley, has grown up surrounded by music. YG's journey in music started when he released his debut single, Praise Jah in the Moonlight, in 2023. The song features a sample from his grandfather, Bob Marley's hit Crisis, and showcases YG's unique sound. YG Marley's parents have always supported his music. Lauryn has performed alongside him at events like Coachella and the BET Awards. She's not only his mother, but also an influence on his sound and career. YG's dad, Rohan, shared his thoughts in a podcast in 2024, saying that while YG might have a famous family, there's no pressure on him to succeed. Rohan believes that YG has been allowed to find his own way without the weight of his family's legacy holding him back. YG's journey in the music world reflects the influence of both his mother and father. Lauryn is one of the most respected voices in hip-hop and R&B, with her album The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill still considered a classic. Rohan Marley, though more known for his business ventures and as a former football player, grew up in the musical environment of the Marley family. His father, Bob Marley, is an international symbol of reggae music, and his songs continue to inspire new generations.
Give God the thanks and praises. I've been on my own.
Despite the fame surrounding his family, YG has worked hard to build his own identity as an artist. In 2024, YG's song Praise Jah in the Moonlight made it to the Billboard Hot 100, marking a huge achievement for him. Rohan Marley praised Lauryn for being a guiding force in their son's career. He mentioned that her musical talent is undeniable, and she has been an essential part of YG's journey. He explained that even though he is YG's father, Lauryn is the one who has taught him about music and helped him navigate the industry. YG Marley's music reflects his family's roots, but he's also carving out his own path. He's performed alongside his mother at major events like Coachella and on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Their performances are a beautiful mix of both old and new, with YG bringing fresh energy and Lauryn Hill showing the strength of her legendary voice. The Marley Hill family is also growing in another way, through the next generation. YG Marley himself is a father, with children of his own. His older brother Zion also became a father, making Lauryn a grandmother. YG shared a rare photo in 2023 of his 3 children, showing how the family's musical legacy continues to grow. As YG Marley continues to develop his career, it's clear that his family's musical influence plays a big role in his success. Lauryn and Rohan have shown nothing but support for their son as he works to find his own voice in the music world. Whether on stage together or in the studio, this family continues to inspire both fans and the next generation of artists. Lauryn has inspired people in many ways. From her hair to her style, and even her charity work, Lauryn Hill has made a big impact on the world. Let's talk about her other ventures, including fashion, endorsements, and philanthropy in a simple and conversational way. Lauryn Hill's hair has always been a huge part of her identity. She's famous for wearing her hair in styles like locks, braids, bantu knots, and afros. These styles are all about embracing natural beauty, especially for Black women. Lauryn helped make natural hairstyles more popular and accepted. In the 1990s, young people who wanted to wear their hair naturally didn't have many public figures to look up to. Lauryn became that role model. Many celebrities, including singers like SCA and Halle Bailey, have said Lauryn inspired them to embrace their natural hair. Even Rihanna channeled Lauryn's style when she wore locks in the movie Ocean's 8.
If you plan to steal shit, you definitely gotta clean this up, because right now my little sister...
Her influence is so strong that magazines like Ebony and Vogue have recognized her for redefining beauty standards. Lauryn made natural hair stylish and powerful, showing that beauty comes from being true to yourself. Lauryn's influence isn't just about hair, it extends to fashion too. In 1999, she teamed up with Levi's to create outfits for her Miss Education tour. This partnership was groundbreaking. Before this, big brands rarely worked with Black musicians. Lauryn changed that. She also worked with Armani, a high-end fashion brand, to design looks for her tour. One of these designs was even displayed at the famous Met Gala. Over the years, many designers like Alexander Wang and Louis Vuitton's Virgil Abloh have said Lauryn inspired their work. Lauryn's style is timeless. She's credited with popularizing hoop earrings and bringing them into mainstream fashion. Today, hoop earrings are a staple accessory, thanks in part to Lauryn. Lauryn doesn't just inspire with her looks, she also gives back. In the late 1990s, she started a nonprofit group called the Refugee Project. This organization helped young people in New Jersey by offering scholarships, mentoring, and after-school programs. It even had a summer camp for kids. She also worked with the U.S. government on an anti-drug campaign. One of her ads became very popular with teenagers, showing how powerful her message was. Lauryn isn't afraid to speak out for what's right. In 2003, she performed at a Vatican Christmas concert, but used the stage to criticize the Catholic Church for not doing enough about child abuse scandals. While her comments caused controversy at the time, many now see her as brave for speaking the truth. Lauryn has often used her voice to support important causes. In 2014, she released Black Rage in protest of police brutality. She performed it at events supporting human rights and raising awareness about injustice. She has also taken strong stands on global issues. For example, the canceled concert in Israel. Lauryn clarified that she wasn't taking sides, but wanted to support dignity for all people. In 2019, Lauryn provided 10 scholarships for students at Alpha Institute in Jamaica. Through her MLH Fund, she continues to help young people achieve their dreams.